welcome to episode 9 of the Hughes Musings podcast. My name is John.
And I'm Carol.
And we are the Hugheses, and this is the Hughes Musings podcast. Hi, Carol.
Hi, John.
Did you miss me?
When?
When I ran away for a week and we didn't record podcasts and we weren't, fantastically wonderful, chatty people?
Yes, of course I missed you, darling. It was so difficult. Only washing one plate instead of two, and only cooking for one instead of two.
You feeling that single life?
I was. I had to lie in that king-size bed all by myself.
Yeah, you had much better sleeping situations than I did.
I had a great time. I had a nice wee holiday.
I had to sleep on a tent bed at my dad's, and then we stayed at an easy hotel in Manchester, and the bed was shocking. And then, wasn't until I got home that I had a nice comfy bed again next to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, like, we both agree that it's nice the first day or so when you've got that big bed all to yourself, but then it does
After
get
that,
lonely.
Yeah, the
novelty of it.
The novelty of that definitely wears off quickly, doesn't it? The joy goes away quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I don't think I was too bad, and I don't think I was too good either, though. I felt like I didn't text or call you enough. I felt like I should have done that more.
To be honest, I was
so
really
hard.
busy, and I didn't have much time to text and call. So
yeah. I think we phoned every second night.
Yeah, we did call briefly.
Yeah.
For quick catch-ups, but
yeah.
So this week I went away. I went on my Hollybobs.
Bye.
So I went to see my dad down in Wales, as I said I was going. That was wonderful. So I spent 3 days. 3 days in Wales. Caught up with loads of friends. Had good chats.
Good chats.
Did some interviews.
You did.
Yeah, so we've got a series of interviews coming up, which is fun and exciting. And I went to Manchester, had a night out experience in the wonderful nightlife of the Northern Quarter in Manchester.
Oh.
And then we came back here, me and my mate Alex.
Alex!
Who's visiting from Greece.
Yeah, I love Alex.
Hopefully looking to stay for a little bit longer.
Yeah,
And I hope
nice.
so too, because that'd be great to have him in the UK.
So, how did we meet Alex?
We met Alex working with him out in the wonderful Aphrodite Hills in Cyprus.
Is that the first time you met him as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, you hadn't worked with him before.
No, because
had you heard of him?
No, well, sort of, because a few of our friends did the opening season.
That's right.
Of that hotel, and he was
Yeah.
the first ever tech there.
Yeah.
And we went there the second year that hotel was open. So we worked with him that second year. So I knew he was a tech, and I'd heard his name before, but didn't really know that much about him.
So being a tech or being a head tech like Alex is, it's like a strange mix of being like into like the, how do you say, like the electrical side of it? Like, is it physics? Of like wires and engineering. Oh my goodness, yeah. So he's obviously got to be quite switched on about that, but he's also got to have like the really creative mind of like working the lights and the sound and
I find
the look of it. The visuals.
I always found that with the techs you kind of got one side or the other. They were either very good at the engineering side of things, or they were very good at the creative things.
Yeah,
it was very rare that you found somebody who was pretty balanced across all areas, and I always thought that about Alex, is that he did have an eye for the creative, but he was good.
Yeah.
If something broke, Alex would be there fixing
fix it. Yeah, definitely.
Even if it wasn't necessarily a stage thing, he'd always help people out and fix things.
Yeah.
So me and Alex hit it off straight away, and we got on really well.
Yeah, and I think working abroad in a season, you've got a tight budget and you're far away from any sort of delivery or shop or anything like that, so you've got to kind of make things last.
Got to get things done.
Yeah. If you can't just be like, oh, it's broke, I'll buy a new one. Like, there's not a budget for that. These things are expensive.
Yeah.
You've got to find a way to make it work.
The hotel does not want to pay for new speakers every season, so got to learn to fix things yourself. So that was great to have a catch up with him, and we went to the Science Centre.
We sure did.
On Friday night for its adults only night, which was hilarity.
It was
great.
amazing. Yeah. And I think what's quite good is that I am quite into like science and things like that, and you are as well.
Yeah.
And obviously Alex is. So we were there like buzzing the fact that we could do these like science experiments that are designed for children.
Yeah.
I was like, I solved it first time. And it's like, yeah, Carol, it's designed for the younger.
Yeah, like me with the disc tower.
Yeah.
I
You
got
were like, I'm so proud of myself. I did it straight away.
yeah. I was so cocky about it, and then realised that like it's really for like 5-year-olds and 7-year-olds to
Learn about science.
yeah to discover. So yeah, but I'm still proud of myself.
Yeah, and we went to the star gazing.
Yeah, the
experience.
planetarium part, which was amazing.
Yeah, it was good.
Loved it.
Yes, to get to lie back in the big
stars.
dome screen with all the.
I always sang some carols in there.
Yes. Oh god, that was awkward, wasn't it?
I loved it.
Buzzing.
I always feel weird doing things like that, where it's like group singing.
Yeah.
Because
you just want to belt it out.
Well, no, like it's that weird thing of wanting to dumb down my voice. Because I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favourite bit was like the what was it called? Perspective bit?
The forced perspective room.
Yeah. So it was like little and large, like a tilted room. I mean, if you've been to Glasgow Science Centre, you've definitely experienced it.
Yeah.
But if not, you should go. They do a couple adults only nights throughout the year.
Yeah.
But obviously it's amazing for children. They've got a soft play as well, and they've got stuff for all ages, to discover. Like the second floor was like really like technology based, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
There's lots of like computers and
loads of
things
interactive things to do as well, like loads of puzzles and games and sort of seeing how forces work and things like that. Just thought it was amazing.
Yeah. So to make it Christmassy, they kind of adapted the stargazing thing, because normally you just find the North Star,
mm-hmm.
but they like made a story about Santa, getting lost, and he's got to find the North Star to get home.
Somehow, so he does it by the start. So.
And they had like a Christmas fair downstairs, didn't they? Yeah. And then they were selling alcohol, which they don't normally serve. So I had a wee glass of Prosecco while doing my science experiments. But the night before that, we went to tapas, didn't we? That was good.
We did. That's an amazing little place in East Kilbride, that tapas restaurant. I loved it.
Oh, it was good. I love tapas because I can never decide on what meal to get.
Yeah, so it's great for you. It's like a little bit of variety. You can just have a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good. And then on Saturday, I went to Girls' Day Out. Yeah,
you did. Did you have a lovely time?
Well, I'm going to be honest. It was an absolute letdown compared to previous years. Just like the vibe of it. Like previous years has been like a DJ host going about and chatting, and the singers, sing different songs. But this guy done the same set every hour.
Right.
There's like a couple of different stages and places to perform, and he done the same songs each time. So I just heard him every time. He done the same introduction, the same everything. So that was like a bit of a and there was no like catwalk. Normally Debenhams do like a wee fashion show and show off like their new collection and stuff like that. Wasn't there. And they always have the Girls' Day Out hunks, which is like 5 or 6 men who kind of dance and like strip off and stuff like that. So I mean, they were there and we seen their show. But normally they have like girls as well with like show head dresses on and hula hoops and stuff. None of that. It was just the 5 hunks.
Right.
Which the dance moves are basic. It's not.
They're not really there for their technical dancing. They're there
to show their hot bods.
Pretty much to show off their
and then the
muscles,
afternoon tea was a bit of a letdown as well.
Oh.
Just compared to I think because it's been so good in the previous years.
Right.
There was a bit of a letdown. But I mean, we still had the best time, We had our free cocktails, and then we had a couple of gins, and you get to taste all the gins as well. And
you bought a little gin as well, didn't you?
I bought a big gin.
Well, yeah, but
yeah, I bought a bottle of gin.
Yeah.
The Bramble Bow Gin. Oh, I had a few samples of that. It was delicious. And we also bought miniatures so we could drink them on the day, because it was £5 for a miniature, which is like a double.
Yeah.
But for a glass of cocktail, it was like £7 or £8. So
right.
Made her own.
Right.
And then we went out a little pub crawl after and danced the night away. It was amazing.
Yep.
So I mean, we made it our own, but it was a letdown compared to previous years.
Sure.
Just the standard was so good in the past.
Yep. And then we went for a little meal on Sunday.
Yes, with my parents.
Took your parents out.
Yeah.
To say thank you to your dad.
Oh yeah, because Girls' Day Out, like I missed the train, and then Nicola's train, the track wasn't working, so they all got kicked off at Rutherglen, and yeah, Dad picked us all up, scooped us all up, and saved the day. So, and then on Saturday night, you as well.
Well, yeah, so I was getting round to that, so I was sort of skirting around it a little bit, but Stuart saved us all a little bit. So I was going to talk about this as part of what I've done this week, but also my Inspiration Corner.
Inspiration Corner.
That's the one. So this week I saw a bit of an appeal on Facebook from one of my friends asking for a acoustic guitar vocalist. At short notice. I figured that most people would be booked for the upcoming Saturday night, so I said that I'd go and help out and play some songs for people. So that was the first gig that I'd not done for a friend's wedding for 18 months.
Yeah, and they requested that you learnt some modern songs, didn't they?
Yeah, I went away and learnt some new songs as well, which was nice to do.
Yeah, I'm sad I never got to hear you rehearsing. Like, I want to hear you sing these songs.
Yeah, like everything was sort of crammed into the Saturday because we were so busy for the rest of the week. So
yeah, obviously when Alex being
after Alex left and you'd gone to Girls' Day Out, I pretty much just had the afternoon to myself where I sat and played music all day, and then I relaxed for an hour and then went to play a gig, and it felt like the old life a little bit.
Yeah.
Of like it was all revolved around just being musical.
Yeah.
And it was really lovely, and it has inspired me a little bit.
Oh.
Because I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed learning new songs and doing stuff like that. So I think hopefully this will kickstart me into playing a bit more. And from this point I can sort of go on and play a few more gigs maybe, or a few more open mic nights, or learn some more modern songs. Because I got introduced to artists that I didn't know. There was they requested some songs by a guy called Jack Savaretti.
Oh.
And
so what's the song by him? I don't recognise the name.
Well, I didn't know him either. So I learnt his songs called Candlelight, which is a really beautiful song. And I listened to a few others of his, and he's really good. Yeah. He's kind of old school, but not at the same time. It was really cool.
But more.
It's really nice mix of genres and styles. So I think I'm going to go away and learn some more Jack Savaretti songs.
That's exciting.
Yeah, and then they asked for Post Malone, and I didn't enjoy learning his.
No?
They're all very samey. And they all don't really do much.
No.
It's all very much production.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine an acoustic version of that.
I mean, they're not undoable, but they're not great. You know, you're never going to bring down a house with a Post Malone cover. I had an amazing time, and I played loads of great songs. And got lots of nice feedback. It was nice for people to tell me I'm good at things. Yeah,
you love a bit of nice feedback, don't you?
I do.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, it's always nice to be told you do something good.
Today,
I
went to meet baby Henry!
Yeah, you did. Oh my goodness. Super jealous.
Oh, but you know what? They said come round whenever, so we're going to go round tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't leave it long now.
No. Realistically, it's going to be the weekend, though.
Yeah, maybe this weekend. Don't know. Depends what we're doing Sunday.
Yeah,
because I have a busy week.
Yeah.
But
anyway, he was just amazing. Like, he was so chill. Like, he was saying. He was like, meh. They're like, oh, needs his nappy changed. So I got his nappy changed, and he was like, well, not smiling at me. He's like 15 days old, so he doesn't really know how to smile yet, unless he's pooping. Like, that's the only time they really smile. It's like passing wind. They're like, yeah. And then a bit later, he was like, meh. And they're like, oh, he's hungry. And then he had a nice big feed, and then he slept. He was just amazing. So I got a couple of cuddles from him, and I was cooing away at him, and he was staring at me with his deep eyes. Oh, I definitely cried like 10 times as they told me like the birth story, and just they are just amazing parents already. Like, they've only been in it for 2 weeks, and they are just chilled out pros. They're just I mean, Robbie, like, I know it's like so stereotypical that like, oh, dad like doesn't know how to hold baby and stuff like that, but you know, he's been on nappy duties because Laura's feeding. Yeah. And he, you know, he's just so confident, like scooping him up and picking him around and supporting his head and cooing at him, and you know, it was just so nice to see them like that this is where they're supposed to be. You know, they're just natural. Yeah, got to that
point in their lives where that was exactly what they needed to be doing.
Yeah, It's all worked out. Oh, I was like, Laura, you're going to have to kick me out. Like, I won't leave unless you tell me.
Yeah, like I had a moment where I was thinking, oh, where is she? But then I thought, no, do you know what? There's no point in thinking that. You could probably be there. You probably moved in.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I was thinking, is she just taking a nannying job or something? She's full time moved in.
I know. I mean, both families are so involved, and they'll never need,
No.
for anything. So hopefully, I'll get a wee babysitting in a couple of years' time.
Yeah, I'm sure one day.
One day, but even just to hang out with them, it was just amazing.
We did something major on Sunday after we came back from food.
Yeah.
As full as we were, we had a little rest for an hour, and then we got ready for Christmas. 1st of December, put our tree up, some of it.
Yeah, this is the earliest I've ever put my tree up.
I was just feeling it this year. I really wanted it this year.
I feel like everyone has. I feel like everyone on like my timeline, like my friends on Facebook and social media and stuff, have had their trees up from like November.
Yeah, I saw loads of people like November don't care.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, all right then, that's fine.
Everyone's been buzzing for it this year.
Yeah, I was just feeling it this year. I don't know what it is about this year, but yeah, I wanted Christmas really badly, and it's made me feel really happy. Like, I come into the living room and then I put the tree on and turn all the rest of the lights off and watch Daddy, and it's just the best.
You do love a wee twinkly light, don't you?
I love it. It just makes you feel warm and cozy and great and just happy.
And we've also started Vlogmas.
We have, yeah. We've started Vlogmas. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I definitely got a face for radio.
Oh no, baby, you're handsome. Except that lighting in the car. Ooh.
Oh,
that was an egg situation.
Yeah, I was a bearded egg. It's a good job I got a beard, otherwise I would have looked like an egg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's been fun. I mean, it's hard when we're working to do it, so I think the weekends will be fun. And it's your fake weekend tomorrow.
Yeah.
So get a few wee clips, hopefully.
Sure, but I'm going to be away a little bit tomorrow. But I'm going to try and get some videos, but I'm going off for my staff Christmas party.
Woo!
So we're going for a meal and drinks, and then we'll probably go for more drinks and more drinks. And then see what happens. What else are we talking about this week, Carol?
What's on your plate?
What's on your plate? So Carol, what is on your plate?
Well, I've had a couple of meals. Nothing's been like crazy outstanding. But when you're away, or whenever you go away, I always give myself a wee treat of having a steak. Yeah. Like, I'm not really a steak person. Like, the first time I tried steak was only a couple of years ago. I've always been like a chicken person or like a meat well done type of person. Yeah. But I experienced medium steak a couple of years ago. So that's like my little treat now. Right. As I have it, and I cook it rare medium, so it's like a couple of minutes each side. Sure. So there's one left on Sunday night. I was like, I really fancy it, but there's only one, and there's two of us. We had a steak sandwich. Oh. Yeah. It was good. It was like a really weird combination. Like, we had steak meat with Primula cheese. Yeah, there was no cheese left, and I wanted a steak and cheese sandwich. Yeah, but it worked amazingly. Yeah. What else did we have in there? Was there like onions in there as well or anything? No, there was just... Was it just steak and cheese? I had barbecue sauce in mine. I don't know if you had that. Yeah, I had a little bit of barbecue sauce as well. I was like, there was something else that made it not just steak and Primula. Yeah, there was a little bit of barbecue sauce. So it was beautiful, but I wasn't satisfied. I was like, I still want a steak dinner. So yesterday... Yeah, Monday night, we had... Because we went out doing early pots Christmas shopping for our amazing advent calendar, which you can see on the blog. We decided to go next door and go get some food. Yeah. And you were like, I want steak again. So we went and got some bits for a little steak dinner, didn't we? And I'm not really a chip person. Like, especially Cinnamon Roll chips. I think they're very hit and miss. Yeah, well, like, we got like that one pack once that was actually quite good. Yeah, the pre-made ones are banging, but to chop up a potato and spray it and... Effort. Yeah, and then like sometimes come out burnt, sometimes they're soggy. Yeah. But roasties, you need to see it on the vlog, on Vlogmas. Yeah. Day 2. Yeah. And I've got my little oxo cube trick in there as well. You vlogged you making the potatoes, but they were really good. They're really good. I think Mum's gonna make them on Christmas Day. Oh, cool. Like, even we were talking about the roasties at my summer group, and people say that they would never go back to any other type of potatoes because they're so easy and they're fluffy on the inside and the crispy on the outside.
Yeah.
And they come out good every time.
Yeah. They were really nice.
Yeah. So that was what was on my plate this week.
Yeah, and then I made a mushroom and onion sauce.
You did.
Yeah, which we didn't vlog.
No.
Because, to be honest, it was kind of a bit of an experiment.
Yeah, but that's most things, though, isn't it?
But it worked really well. I quite liked it. It was quite nice.
Yeah, get that speed food in there.
Yeah, so that was our din-dins last night, and it was really good.
It was banging.
Yeah, a good Slim and World steak dinner.
Yeah, so I mean, you do have to count a couple of sins for the steak just because of the cut we got.
Yeah, it was marbled, as you say.
So apart from that, it was sin-free, so yeah. I think that is banging. Who goes on a diet and has steak and roasties?
That's it. Amazing. So that was What's on Your Plate this week. And then just lastly, before we get on to our musing, we're going to talk quickly about an entertainment bug. And we talked about I'm a Celebrity.
Yes, we have been
before we went away. And we were watching it the other night, and Carol was saying about James.
Yeah, because I follow a couple of pages on Facebook that's like I'm a Celebrity Reactions, I'm a Celebrity Memes, whatever. And they'd all been banging on, because we'd missed a couple of nights with Alex being here. So they'd all been banging on about how James was a bully, and James this, and James that, and how he spoke to people, and efforts in the trial, and stuff like that. So I was gearing up to watch it like it was going to be something.
Yeah, and I think, because you read so much, I think you were, already, judging him. Yeah, you're pre-angry at him, yeah, I know he's just going to go off on one.
Yeah, of course he's doing it that way. Of course he would.
Yeah. And then it kind of happened.
That bad? Yeah.
Kind of happened, and I don't know, maybe it's me having maybe a slightly similar personality.
I think you're very biased towards him.
Yeah, I like the guy.
Yeah.
He's, I don't know, he just seems like a good person. I feel like, he seems like a genuine, nice person. And yeah, from what I could see, it was somebody who maybe is a bit of a traditionalist.
Yeah, that does irritate me, though, where he absolutely refuses to hear anyone's opinion, where he's like, women will go first. Women will go first. No doubt about it.
But, see, this is why this is my bug.
Yeah.
Because what's wrong with being brought up a certain way and trying to be like the politest or most gentlemanly person that you can be in the situation that you've been taught?
But it's the fact that he wouldn't listen to anyone. They were like, no, you go first. And because obviously he is a large man. He needs calories. He is a large... And some of the women there are very petite.
Yeah.
So when it came to the Sunday roast, I feel that, some of the men should have went before some of the women. And it not just be women first because they're women. The men have bigger appetites. They need more. They're bigger people. They're bigger humans.
Yeah. So
that it just irritated me, the fact that he refused to even listen to anyone. He was like, "No, I've made the decision. All women are going first. End of story."
Yeah, he can be a bit pig-headed, but it comes from not a bad place.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get annoyed. We're taught to respect and understand everybody's point of view these days.
Yeah.
Apart from the point of view that we've all been brought up on for the last 20, 30 years, that doesn't mean shit anymore. And if you do that, you're a bigot or a traditionalist or stuck in your ways. Well, fuck off. Be understanding to people who've grown up a certain way. I'm a traditionalist. I was brought up a certain way. Now, I like to think that, I am a traditionalist, and there are a lot of things, like we said in the podcast a couple of weeks ago, that I don't understand. But at the same time, everything that I always think and do comes from a place of trying to be a good person.
Yeah, you're taught you should hold a door open for a woman, and
yeah, exactly, right.
But but you should hold a door open for anyone who's behind you.
But I do. But at the same time, that's what I'm saying. So we're taught to tolerate, support, and understand everybody's point of view in the world, unless It's the traditional point of view, which now everybody views as bigoted.
Yeah, which everyone thinks is like old-fashioned.
Yeah,
and
and
disrespectful,
and it's bullshit. So if everybody's expecting respect for their mindset, they should have respect for everybody else's mindset.
Yeah,
Everything should go two ways. Like so everybody should respect everybody,
but I just
and then
feel...
stop damning people who are traditionalist.
Yeah, like I'm not annoyed at him because he was like he wasn't trying to be like no ladies go first, like that's the way it's brought up. It was just like this is what is happening. Whatever you say doesn't matter.
No, I get
like
you.
He wasn't respecting anyone's opinion and no one was respecting his. It was just a horrible thing.
No, I totally understand, and he is pig-headed, and I understand that's the thing that irritated you.
Yeah,
but from a lot of what I've seen, a lot of it is sort of been quite anti-view.
I think a lot of it's exaggerated as well. Like there's not really been that much drama in the jungle.
No, and but like the whole time you could tell on that day he was grouchy.
Yeah, and Kate does seem a ditherer.
Oh yeah,
like she's so faffy and apologises for everything and goes round in circles. And...
I hate people who faff. It's like one of my biggest things. I hate ditherers and faffers myself, and I get really frustrated with faffers.
Yeah, you do.
Old Safafalots.
Safafalots.
Yeah, so that was my bug. Basically, if everybody expects understanding, be understanding. That's my opinion.
You're going to ask me the question then, John?
Yeah, I most certainly, most absolutely, completely am going to ask you, Carol. So, what's a moozing?
Well, I don't really know what we're calling it. Is it like a continuation of Friends? Siblings?
Yeah, so...
Family, even?
So that's it, yeah. So we're carrying on with siblings and family. So we're going to lead straight back into where we left off, where we are talking about siblings.
Yes.
And we said that we were going to try and get some interviews.
Oh?
So I successfully managed to glean some interviews from my family.
Yes, the Hugheses are winning.
Absolutely. 2 whole interviews.
Yeah.
All I had to do was feed them a bottle of whiskey.
Whee!
And put a microphone in front of them. Now, you're going to have to excuse the sound quality a little bit.
Yes, of course.
Because I took an entire setup down there.
Yeah.
And the microphone didn't work.
Oh.
So it's recorded on the microphone of the laptop that I took down. So sound quality is not great.
Yeah.
But we worked with it as best we can, and we tried to clean that up as best we can. So
bear with.
So bear with. And we do have some interviews that we've done slightly differently, so they'll be a bit clearer. So, but anyway, this is my interview with my eldest brother, Gaz. And this was done about 3/4 of the way through a bottle of bourbon. So if we're a bit slurry, it's because we were quite drunk. With my eldest brother, Gaz. Hi, Gaz.
Hi, John.
How you doing? So we're having a little chat over a couple of drinks. Cheers, mate.
And you all good?
Yeah, good. So I just wanted to sort of so it was actually our dad that suggested that we do a whole series of podcasts and talks about siblings.
Okay.
And we've extended that to family. So I've just interviewed Dad as well.
Yeah.
And then if Dave ever has time when he comes home, I'm going to interview him as well.
When he comes home.
When he comes home, but if he has time.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to catch up and talk about how amazing it is to be my brother.
Cheers, man.
Because you are pretty lucky.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that.
I do.
Yeah, I know.
Daily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every morning.
Why aren't we in touch so much? I can't remember.
Because I'm just too awesome. You just can't.
It's the inferiority complex.
It's got to be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So no, it's really good to catch up, my brother. So yeah, I just wanted to catch up and talk about life really. What it's been like growing up as part of the Hughes clan. You're the oldest of the 3 of us. And first of all, I just want to ask you, because obviously we've lived in this house, in Dad's house for years, but do you remember living elsewhere before then?
Vaguely, yeah.
Because
We
you grew
lived
up,
in
you were born in.
we lived in Pilus, and I think I moved when I must have been about 5, 6, maybe. No, I do remember our next door neighbours, which were Wayne and Scott Griffiths, two older lads. Well, Scott, the same age, because actually we grew up in the same secondary school together.
Right.
But yeah, I mean that's really vague. You know, I mean, God, we're talking way back. Yeah,
Yeah, so you were born late
77.
70s, yeah,
Yeah,
77. So, and then I was born and lived in Dad's house
yeah.
in Canada straight away. So there's only 7 years difference there.
Mm.
So, and Dave was born when they moved
Yeah.
to Llandudno as well. So you must have been pretty young. So
Yeah,
that's why I was interested. I was just like, do you remember anything
yeah. I mean, I'm talking
before the house
really
we grew up
vaguely.
in? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you would have been really young.
yeah.
So you probably don't remember Dave coming in
No.
to the house because you would have been, what, 3? Are you
Yeah,
2.5 years older than Dave?
yeah,
3 years
something
older
like
than
that.
Dave? But you would have remembered me coming in
Yeah,
because you were 7.
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Any memories
yeah.
of me coming into the house?
Pushing you down the stairs in a cardboard box with Dave. One of our favourite memories. Yeah, seeing how long John could, last without crying was probably our most favourite fun one.
Mm-hmm.
That carried on for about 3 or 4 years, to be honest.
I definitely
I
lived like
mean,
an evil Knievel youth,
you were
didn't
kind
I?
of built, even as a baby, you're quite chunky, so you kind of built
Thanks,
to
guys.
see how much abuse you could take.
For sure.
It's kind of fun, yeah.
Loads of natural padding.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's
He's
like,
just going to bounce off that
yeah,
wall.
we didn't
Let's see
even
how
have to.
often he can do it.
The cardboard box got smaller. You seem to get bigger. It just carried on. We tried it with Dave, but he's moaned too much.
Yeah, it's too small. He just can't handle that kind of abuse.
You weren't really much of a partner in crime. You just kind of did the Google most of the stuff at that point. But putting you in the box, me and Dave had a great time.
Yeah, sure. I remember being told that I laughed a lot.
Yeah.
So I always seem to enjoy whatever attention it was. If you pushed me down the stairs, I quite enjoyed it.
I think that's why we carried on doing it.
Yeah.
If you'd have cried, we just ran away because we knew we were in trouble.
Do you remember the springy chair as well?
Yeah, we had a tendency to put it all the way back, and you used to crack up all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Mum kept telling us to stop doing it because it wasn't good, and clearly you thought it was, so we carried on.
As a baby, probably I wasn't realising the fact of the potential of brain damage from being sprung around that much. Yeah, and I wonder why I'm such a genius now.
Didn't do you any harm, I don't think.
Well, time will tell on that one, I guess. It's been 30 odd years, and I can definitely notice some things already.
Got to remember that, crikey, yeah.
So you pretty much, for as long as you can remember, have grown up in the same village.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
What was youth like in the 80s in Llandudno?
Compared to now, a lot more outdoors.
Yeah.
I mean, I could say, right, I'm going out, I'm going to play football. I could start playing in the park outside the house and end up playing in the football pitch, up the road.
Because everyone would just congregate and be like, we're all going up there now.
Yeah, and then most parents wouldn't care. I mean, they'd do, all right, you came back when the lights, you couldn't see the football.
Yeah, when it got dark.
And that was
when
it.
The lights came on, yeah.
Right, my age mate, then, I mean, everyone's got this, kind of sugar-coated view of being a kid growing up in the 80s. But yeah, it was a lot different than what it is now.
Yeah.
Massively. We were more outdoors. Don't worry, we love technology, the same as we do now. But it was more to enhance what was going on outdoors as opposed it is to now being quite insular.
Sure. I've seen this thing that mine and probably because we're 7 years apart, but we're not that far separate of a generation. But our sort of generation is kind of like a lucky generation in a way.
Yeah.
Because we grew up pre-internet.
Yeah.
And we grew with the birth of gaming.
I joke with them, the young members of staff that I work with. I said I'm so glad I grew up in an era without Facebook, because otherwise I'd have been arrested for 90% of the stuff I did.
Yeah.
As a kid, not being a criminal, but just being a bit of an idiot like we all were.
Yeah.
And we joke now that kids probably do more organised fun and go to more gigs than we probably did, but we had more of a laugh in our minds.
Yeah, it was more spontaneous when you were young.
In fact,
because there wasn't the other things to do.
No.
Okay, so what was it? What did you really enjoy when you were young? You've already mentioned football, and I remember you being.
Even though I was terrible.
I remember. Well, you weren't though. You weren't terrible. Out of the three of us, you were probably the best. Because
I don't know whether that says more about me. What about you two?
Well, it definitely says more about us too. Trust me.
Yeah. Dave was quite.
Dave was a tackling machine.
Yeah.
And I.
You could pass really well.
Yeah, like if the ball was static enough.
You're very much a European style footballer.
I was a bit of a Jan Mulby.
Dave's more like, Dave was more like David Batty.
Yeah, exactly. David Batty, and I was a bit.
Vinnie Jones.
And I was a bit more of a Jan Mulby of like I could waddle around for a bit, and then I'd hit the perfect pass, and every now and again, I'd have a moment of absolute beauty. But it'd be one in 90.
I was just play football outside.
Right.
Who's there? Jamie McLeod.
Good old Jamie McLeod.
Yeah.
Do you remember the famous
I'm in the box.
Fatino Espria volley that he hit? Just because it was accompanied by the sound effect of
89 minutes of rubbish.
And it was 20 yards out in a goal that was half the size, and it hit the crossbar, bounced off the ground, and went in. And it was just ridiculous because it was accompanied by the vroom sound effect as he hit it. It was phenomenal.
But you would have to do everything for him for 80 odd 9 minutes.
Yeah, like, and then you were saying as well, I'm in the box. I'm out the box. I'm back in the box again because Lee had gone, let me know where you are, Jamie. I'm in the box. I'm out the box. I'm back in the box again. Oh, just amazing.
Oh, so funny.
Yeah. I remember, like, we used to go and play football a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
we all did. If someone had a ball, that was awesome.
Yeah, like there was enough of us, wasn't there? You know, there was enough diverse age groups that we all used to go and play together. But like, even if everybody wasn't playing, I remember you used to take me out quite a lot. Yeah. Sort of, I was a bit younger, and you used to sort of teach me how to pass, teach me how to, hit it with the outside of the foot and all that sort of, well, inside of the foot, sorry. Yeah. And so you taught me well.
You know nothing, do you?
See, this is why I don't play for Liverpool now.
It's
because you're a terrible teacher.
Thanks, mate. Consider what I do now. Yeah, I mean, thanks.
Aye, we'll get to that. But no, I think rugby was all more of my game than football, wasn't it? You know.
You did well at rugby.
Yeah, I wasn't bad. I did it right for a long time. Yeah, I was okay because I was big and it was all about hitting people.
Yeah, and it's obviously not as professional as it is now. So guys with less mobility like then were set out. If you set out to be a second row,
at a certain point, like you've got to be a bit worried about rugby players of the 80s and 90s when I was a particularly mobile rugby player.
Yeah.
So I ended up being a flanker because I was quicker than the rest of the props.
Yeah.
Like you've got to be worried about rugby players at that point.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a mobile human. You went to high school in Brunellian, same as all three of us. What's your sort of enduring memories of school? You had a bit of a rough time in school, didn't you?
Being bullied.
Yeah.
Mercilessly, horribly.
Yeah. It wasn't the best time for you.
Yeah, and I mean, like lots of people, you just you cope with how you. Back then, we didn't have the mechanisms that they do now.
The support network that you have for bullying these days. Because I don't think it was quite well as well publicised or as well sort of. The attention was given
it's just something that you were told to just shrug it off and get on with it. You know, there were things put in place, and that's why we've got things we've got now. But it's just horrible. Yeah. But I got through high school. You know what I mean? It wasn't great.
No.
But it's that horrible moment. You see people saying, "Oh, it made me who I am." Yes, it did. But don't get me wrong. There's not an ounce of me that wouldn't go back and change any second.
Exactly. Made you who you are, but is that necessarily the best way
to
go about
it?
No, that's never a badge of honour.
But hey, these things happen. I mean, and You know, ironically, I know the lad who made my
Now,
life
yeah,
hell.
yeah.
You know, and the first thing he said when we met after each other, like, what, 10, 15 years ago, was, mate, I'm so sorry. I was an absolute, yeah, several phrases you could use.
You can use them, don't worry.
And he
This
said,
is a
mate,
podcast,
I'm
nobody
really sorry.
regulates this shit.
He said, I was like, all right, fair enough. And that was it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, luckily he said it to me when I was in a particularly good place. I was like, okay, being done. But yeah, you know, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, high school wasn't much fun.
No, but then you went on to college.
Yeah, college was great.
And you found acting.
Yeah.
And I say acting with twiddly fingers and all
Jazz
sorts of
hands.
things. Yeah, because, I mean, we're all very theatrical, but I think
We are.
you kind of...
it's good to know we've done something with that as well,
much, yeah. Well, I mean, I did. Come on
Yeah.
now. Like, as the youngest, I actually like made a career in performing arts. So I win on that score. But much to our father's chagrin, you kind of carved the path into that performing arts world for the three of us, didn't you? You kind of set the trend and ruined it for our parents.
I remember actually I was working with Dad because I was basically doing nothing and just high school with people. I was kind of groping into this.
Yeah.
And Dad said, right, you're going to come work with me. It was a carpet fit, and I was thinking, yeah, no.
It wasn't for you, no.
And I did a couple of weeks with him.
Yeah.
I hated it. I think he hated it more. And then it's basically I turned off.
I'm not going to make loads of these, but I can't pass up on this opportunity, right? But you've been a carpet fit and trying to carry a carpet with somebody. Surely they were carrying the carpet and you were just holding on as you went upstairs. Sorry, I won't make any more. But I needed to make one at least.
At least I can make it up the stairs.
I can make it up the stairs. I'm just breathing quite heavy when I get to the top. That's all. Yeah. I live in Scotland now. When I get to the top of the stairs, I'm like a fucking bagpipe. Oh, hey, you can't say the piss out of me for being fat because I'll do it way before you. Yeah. But anyway, yes, you went to it with Dad for a bit. Yeah, that really wasn't for you. Yeah.
I think it was a start really fun. Both one, I was atrocious, you know, and two, it was like, right, I'm going to do something I want to do, and it was great.
Yeah.
College was awesome. Yeah. There was loads of people who were in the same situation as me. Yeah. Coming out of high school, you know, and it was great fun. Really good fun. It must be.
That was when you were down in the town hall, right?
Yeah,
you went on the main campus, so it was his own little building of
satellite kind of,
of like slightly socially awkward people.
Yeah, we had,
and it just felt like a haven, didn't it?
Yeah. I really feel sorry for the pubs and bars which I didn't know because they really had no idea what they expected.
No,
we'd all go marauding at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, we weren't meant to be in there.
Yeah, well, you weren't old enough to be in there. Yeah,
but that never stopped.
No, never stopped any of you. No. Aye.
But yeah, that was interesting.
See, I remember as a youngster going to watch you in Othello.
I loved doing that. That was great fun.
I think if ever I think about like your performing arts, like let's put career in inverted commas because it wasn't a career. Like you trained and then decided to sort of move on and do other things. But whenever I think about you performing, I always think about like watching you as Carman.
Yeah, I loved it. I was talking about I nearly broke my big toe in the first show.
Yeah, there was that. Yeah,
we thought putting rocks on the beach. I literally, as I bounded on the stage, I cracked my big toe on the biggest rock. Thinking, why put it in the entry? Everyone else is all right. They've got boots on. I'm thinking, I should have some boots on now.
Yeah.
And then, as they say, adrenaline takes over, and
But you can't wear boots, guys. You're mad. Mad people don't wear boots. They don't know how to put shoes on. Yeah, and then you went down to Carmarthen.
Yeah, Scottish Carmarthen.
I remember coming to visit you a couple of times.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Well, yeah, I don't know, can we talk about that in front of Dad?
Rule of one, never take your 15-year-old brother out drinking in Carmarthen.
No.
Yeah.
No, especially when at 15 he's a big lad.
Yeah.
And it's full of rugby players.
Yeah. I thought you were lovely.
Well,
the door staff, they thought you were great.
Apart from one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll just skirt around that.
You know that story, and that's
we'll skirt around that.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, but yeah, so you went down to Carmarthen.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Did you enjoy Carmarthen?
I did. I should have more than studied. I enjoyed the party more than I enjoyed.
You enjoyed being a student, rather than actually being a student.
Yeah, I just treated it like a
Yeah. Well. Yeah. The other one did that as well. Dave did that as well.
But listen, I kind of knew it at that point. I thought as much as I loved performing and doing all that kind of stuff, I kind of felt like it was like, right, I need to do something proper at the end of that.
Yeah. You had sort of designs on like directing for a while, didn't you?
But then the money and the finance side became
getting that started,
Yeah.
like finding and especially like back in North Wales, you've got no network.
No, and I think that's
I think that's got better actually in the recent years, because now when I talk to people, there is some sort of network there. People have really made an effort through, probably the years where we were young. It's probably people, that we would have known then. To build up that network. But at that point, there wasn't a film network. There wasn't anybody trying to make independent films. There wasn't a way through that.
No, and everything was a hurdle at that point.
Yeah.
So you think, we've got something like no.
Like you can have the greatest project, but there was no finance for it,
No.
and there was no way of that being your career rather than a side project.
The group was every time we get to the end of each week, right, no one else, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've raised this money, and now we're skint, and we need to pay our bills because we've ignored them for a month.
And before you know, you're working multiple weeks.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a shame, really.
Yeah. So
people.
So you've kind of, as long as you've been working, and as long as I can remember you working, you've been a barman.
Yeah,
you work behind the bars, and you, like not just a barman. You've done all sorts of hospitality jobs, but you've been bar based.
In the hospitality.
Yeah. For
bars.
I actually cannot remember you having any other job. Have you ever had anything that's not been in a pub?
God, I was thinking when I was about 18, 19, I worked in the butchers and quick saves, which is the most awesome job.
Oh God, yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah, that was I used to rock up on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Stinking, on a Sunday. I Sunday in a butcher is the best job in the world, because nobody wants to buy anything because they've all bought it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So, however, it wasn't great because I used to have to clean out the rotisserie oven, which is just not great when you're hungover.
No.
I actually slashed that, not hungover, still drunk. So I used to have to clean that. My boss would leave me in quick saves. He'd go out and he'd come back at 4 o'clock. I'd read 9 newspapers, have 2 sausage rolls, and that was my Sunday. And I'd get paid for that.
Yeah.
So on the whole, probably a better job than being behind the bar.
Yeah, you definitely have to work harder behind the bar.
Oh, I know, yeah. Why can't I just put 2 sausage rolls behind the bar?
Just while we're talking about like your sort of what would have been 90s nightlife.
Okay.
Just while we're talking about that, you had a quite famous nickname back in the 90s. It was quite simplistic. It was what it said on the tin. You were Gaz Hat.
Oh, yeah, my God.
Yeah.
I had quite a load as well.
Yeah, you had like a whole collection.
All Kangol.
Yeah, all Kangol.
Yeah.
And I seem to remember, right, so a lot of people would have said, like, oh yeah, you did that because Samuel Jackson did that. But I seem to remember you did that before the whole Samuel Jackson thing.
White, I mean white, like ice white.
And with the one with the black leather rim.
Black leather rim with a bright white Kangol, big Kangol logo.
Yeah, I remember that one.
A little bit, not like you get now with the really small, tiny, minuscule ones.
I remember that hat. Like, that hat was such a good hat that, like, I remember it now.
Yeah.
As soon as you said a bright white, I was like, yeah, I know exactly which one.
Yeah, that was one.
Yeah. You were
I always wanted a bowler hat.
Yeah.
Kangol bowler, because they did those, but I couldn't find one anywhere.
No. I'm really glad you didn't, because that would have been a different level.
Yeah.
Of like, no, I got to just have you.
That'd have been like a Clockwork Orange kind of look, wouldn't it?
But that's not a good thing. I mean, like, even now, that's probably not a good thing.
Back then, nobody would have known.
Probably not. No, we didn't really have much sense of style or fashion between the 80s and 90s, did we?
Yeah,
no. I've seen some of our youth pictures. Yeah. Did you ever have a shell suit?
Yes.
You had a few, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good.
I don't remember having many, but I remember we went on a day trip to the markets in Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
And Mum and Dad bought me, and I can't believe they bought me this, considering we live in North Wales. They bought me an England football team shell suit. How bad is that? It's like a combination of shit. It's a shell suit, and it's an England football team shell suit. I lived in Wales. You're not supposed to pipe up over there. It's not your interview now. Yeah, I do.
Hang on.
No, because like I don't know. I just remember it because I like Shrewsbury. It's not a place we go very often.
Yeah.
And I think we just went for a day out, and there was like a big market, like a massive market on, and they bought you two some clothes, and Mum was like, "Oh, what do you want?" And I must have just pointed at the first thing because it was an England football team shell suit, and I got it. And I think I wore it like twice, and then realised it was an England football team shell suit, and I never wore that fucker again. You spent most of your working life working behind a bar, and there has been occasions where, as siblings, we've been lucky enough to work together, but generally it's only two of us.
Yeah.
So
you've worked with you,
you've
or
worked with
Dave.
Dave, or I've worked with you, or I've worked with Dave, but it's been very rare.
Yeah.
That all three of us have worked together.
Yes.
In the same bar.
Yeah.
At the same time. And one of those times was over at Weatherspoons.
Yeah.
What
a place.
What a place. I could genuinely just write a sitcom about about working in that place.
It was awesome.
It
awesome and awful in
equal measure. Yeah, absolutely. There was some characters that we worked with behind the bar there.
Yeah, it's one of the places that I miss the people that I work with. I would never miss that place.
Not the job.
No.
Not the job.
No, not at all. No. But like you say, it's like you could write a sitcom about the stuff that happened.
About the things that happened. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, me, you, and Dave, we've worked in many bars and many restaurants. We all have a certain level of knowledge because we've all passed it on to each other.
Of course.
As we've gone along.
Of course. And I think when we both joined Weatherspoons, me and David both. No, Dave had come from the theatre, and I'd come from the bowling alley.
Yeah.
Via the theatre.
Yeah, so you both had you knew what you were doing anyway.
Yeah, we'd worked loads of bars before that as well. But yeah, so we talked about the fire incident the other week on the podcast.
I just have visions of poor Bill sat in that disciplinary, trying not to laugh, writing out Austrian accent, fire, there's a fire, get down, get out, get to the chopper. And, so good. And he's such a nice chap, Bill.
Bill, and chap is the right word, because that is exactly what he'd call you. Hello, chap.
Listen, chaps, it's not going well.
Oh, he's such a nice guy. And
Middle of Saturday.
It must have been the hardest thing for him to try and do disciplinary. And when he went, did you shout this, this, and this? And I went, yeah, but I did it in an Arnie voice, so it's okay. You could see him try and stifle that laughter in a disciplinary. It was the worst thing for him. Poor Bill.
It was great.
So good. So how I didn't get sacked from that job, I do not know. So can you remember any other particular stories of times that we worked in that particular bar? Because it was an absolute gold mine of hilarity.
My favourite one in Weatherspoons is always Saturday nights. Because Saturday night water fight.
Yeah.
It's basically when you got anything electrical in your pockets or anything you don't want to get damaged.
Oh yeah, just don't take them here.
The trick was you had to keep serving, but every other member of staff could basically do anything involving
water,
iced water, soda guns, soda bottles, and the whole bar was swimming at the end of the night.
Yeah, that was always my favourite trick of taking the plug off the soda gun. Yeah. And you just put it straight up like you're gonna pour it spray out a customer. Yeah. So they'd flinch as well, which is always funny. And then it'd go every way but forward.
Yeah.
So it'd go sideways and hit pretty much every other bar member.
You used to get customers coming in waiting for it to start.
Yeah.
Because the reason we started doing it because at 10 o'clock at night it's dead. And we said, I remember I think somebody put a tonic in somebody's pocket once.
Yeah.
I remember somebody tipping.
That was Joe.
I remember somebody tipping the ice well over my head.
Yeah. I remember that as well.
That was brutal.
And then I remember
ice bucket challenge.
I remember Lee, Wayne, and you. Foster's jugging me.
Yeah, I remember doing that one.
Yeah, all three of you, 2 Foster's jugs. While I was serving, both jugs, 6 jugs of Foster's of water, But you know, the 4 pint
The
jugs,
big one.
4 pint jugs of Fosters, all over me all at the same time. I remember that. So eventually, you did the North Wales bar circuit
Yeah.
after coming back from uni,
I think I
and
ran
then
our pubs as well.
yeah, so then you sort of emigrated. You crossed the border.
Yeah.
Oh, you lived in that border town. Which is it English? Is it Welsh?
Not on the street.
Yeah, it depends how you feel, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Technically, it's England, but
Yeah.
not
You have to be
really.
careful on the roads after midnight. You know, all
Aye,
those people carrying a longbow.
you can't let anybody know that you're
Especially
Welsh.
the clergy, they're
Yeah.
really dodgy.
You have to sound as English as you can there.
But I enjoyed my time.
I went to uni there. I was terrified
Yeah,
coming home from drinks. No. But yeah, so you sort of migrated there
Yeah.
eventually. And you worked just outside, first of all, didn't you?
Yeah, I love that place well. Amazing.
Yeah.
A restaurant, lovely people, good owners.
And I was trying to remember the name of it.
Chesterfields.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
not the pub, but the town that it was in.
Nickel.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And I was trying to, and it just popped in my head, as I was thinking about it then, and I was trying to remember it earlier. And I couldn't remember the name. And I was like, begins with M. But yeah, Mickle Trafford.
Yeah.
I used to cycle there all the time
Yeah,
when I lived
nice
in
one.
uni.
It's
I just
actually nice,
cycled
yeah.
there and back, in between town. It was only
We should
about
go on a cycle path going round.
yeah, it's only about 7-8 miles there and back. But I used to do a lot. It was really good. But yeah, so you worked in the Chesterfield for quite a while, and that was good, wasn't it? That was a great place
yeah,
to work.
amazing. Yeah, again, that was another diverse one as well. Yeah, lots of money. I mean, Cheshire's got lots of money anyway. But yeah, there's some really great people in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I love my time there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it was nice to. I mean, like I say, I mean, if you look at what I've done in bars, you can start from boozers to sports clubs to fine dining restaurants. So there's never been one that's been anyone which has defined
True.
what I've done.
I think we all kind of did that though.
Yeah.
Between the three of us, we all kind of moved through. Maybe Dave, not so much. Dave sort of went from pubs to a few clubs to event bar.
Yeah.
And Dave was very good at event bar because he was good at organising specialist bars. And that was he was good at the logistics of getting things sorted. Yeah. Whereas you, maybe even more so than me, sort of did a bit of everything.
Yeah.
And then I did restaurant bars for a while.
Yeah.
And then, but you sort of did a lot more sort of specialist cocktails than any of us.
Yeah, which I've got to be honest, is so bizarre now.
Yeah.
Working around a cocktail bar, and I am so pissed.
Oh, I was looking at somebody the other day, just making a cocktail, and I was like, whoa.
I used to be way ahead of the game, and now I feel like I'm so out of touch.
Because the trends have changed.
And I'm don't get me wrong.
You'll have the basics, you'll have the
know-how. I did one the other day. I mean, a porn star martini. I was making porn star martinis before people knew what porn star.
Yeah, before they were cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, so now, that's one of the old school, cocktails, and I'm like, what?
That's it.
That's it. But trends move on, labels move on, and it's just like, I mean, I love the fact I'm now more admin based, my role than because I've got a couple of younger staff, and they look at me now the way I used to look at older people behind the bar. So what are you doing here?
Yeah, why are you still doing this? Yeah.
But no, like I say, I love it, and great. Yeah, Chester was great fun. Chester is great fun.
Yeah, and then you went from one to another, the Piper.
Yeah, I love my time at the Piper.
And that was a great place.
Managing the Piper, great, and again, fantastic owners, great guys to work for.
That was for me, all the pubs that I've been to visit you in, that had the best balance.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it was somewhere between a boozer and a gourmet pub.
Yeah.
With a bit of flash, if you needed it. Yeah. The food was always amazing. So how was your time in Chester? Because I always felt as you were growing up, and as we all had aspirations and stuff, that was kind of your spiritual home. That was where you always wanted to be.
Well, that's just a bit of everything, wasn't it? I mean, it was relaxed enough to be close enough to get back. I'd say I love being in Chester. It was nice. It's just the most fun place I've been.
Like saying, as you were growing up, even before we lived anywhere else, or any of us left North Wales. I always felt like Chester was kind of like your spiritual home, it was where you wanted to be.
Well, every time we used to go for a night out, just better bars, better restaurants. Yeah, I want to be here. I want to work there.
Felt a bit more
felt a bit more
something, yeah. As like, I mean, okay, we're not in the countryside here, but
No,
it's a quiet village
yeah,
along a coast that feels a
very
bit different.
seasonal.
Yeah, the seasonal coast. Yeah, so Chester felt a bit more like city living, a bit more.
Yeah, but then you live in Chester, it doesn't feel very city at all.
No, I like, and like I spent
You would have
5
thought, well,
years,
yeah,
4.5 years there.
yeah.
Uh,
The only
like
is
first all in uni and then afterwards as well.
when you live in North Wales, you always go to Chester, in the big city you live in.
Yeah,
When you live in Chester, you go to Manchester, Liverpool.
yeah,
Yeah, so
There's
it's
always
that
the
aspect.
upgrade,
Yeah,
and then when you live near Glasgow, you just never go in.
yeah.
Just saying, because I'm old and I just can't be bothered with that headache anymore. Yeah, I think I've lived there for nearly 2 years. I think I've been on 4 nights out in Glasgow. Yeah, just because it's too much. I'm too old now. I just don't want to do it. Yeah. So yeah, like so, Chester Chester was an interesting place. So now you're back here for a bit. You're
Yeah.
back in North Wales for a bit. You just found a new job.
Yeah, which has been great. So yeah,
Happy that you're sort of moving forward
I am. Yeah, definitely.
with something new.
Like I say, I've still got ties everywhere as well, and everything's going well. But, yeah, it's nice to just go back and enjoy doing stuff again.
Yeah.
Yeah, freeing up more time than I had when I was running pubs and restaurants because my time wasn't my own. I always had to be somewhere or doing something or on call or be on the end of a phone. At least now, when I know I've got time off, I've got time off.
Yeah, it's yours.
It's kind of that. I think. I mean, I love running pubs, and and I probably still will again. But it was like when I was walking away from a day off, I was thinking, right, oh my god, how much of my day off do I get?
Yeah.
At least now I
Yeah.
know.
See, there was a few times that I'd come and see you.
Yeah.
And we'd spend like 2 hours together.
Yeah.
And that'd be for like 9 months.
Yeah.
Because you had to run back to work to change sort of barrel out or something.
Lucky when you come stay with me for a weekend.
I think we watched a film together.
Yeah, and that was it.
That was it. We sat down and watched the film together, and you were like, "I'm really sorry, I'm going to bed."
Yeah, like at the end of a Sunday night, I think I'd done like a 9-hour shift.
Yeah.
And I was like, mate, I'm wiped.
We watched the film together, had a drink, and you went to bed,
Yeah.
and that's all that we could manage together.
Yeah.
And that was it. So I mean, yeah, there's benefits to being staff.
Yes.
So outside of work and outside of sort of bar stuff, so we talked about the football earlier, and I've always felt like you've had that like fitness and sport spark to you. Like you've always wanted like to do that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And then like a little bit later on in life, you found boxing.
Yeah.
The
best thing I've ever done.
And yet again, I feel like it was always something that you wanted to do.
Yeah. I did it on my terms.
You just sort of just did it a little bit later.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it. I mean, obviously, when I was getting bullied, this everything nice to boxing, which doing martial arts, like, mate, that doesn't solve anything.
No.
Yeah, so I've always been a fan of boxing.
Mm.
And then I was working in Chester, funny enough, and then this thing came up saying, "Do you want to box? White collar. Do 10 weeks of training, get in the ring." I had no intention of getting in the ring. I thought, but I've always said I wanted to box. Always said I wanted to do it. So I thought, do you know what? Fuck it, just go along, just give it a crack.
Yeah.
25 fights later, yeah. Best thing I ever did.
I think it's amazing. Like I can't remember roughly. Were you like my age when you started it?
36.
Yeah. So I'm 35 now. So
yeah. So and yeah, I mean, look at the guys I've got to know. I've got to know Robin Reed, Steve Collins, Ricky Hatton. You know, guys that I could send a message to and get a message back.
Yeah.
All the guys I stepped in the ring with are friends.
Yeah.
Maybe not before, but definitely after.
Maybe not during.
Maybe not during. Oh no, I quite happy to punch.
Definitely not during. But yeah, because you can't be friends with somebody that you're about to punch in the nose.
Do you remember going back a couple of years? Sainsbury's had that penguin as their Christmas advert. There's one of them like
I might have been abroad
like
at
a
that point, mate.
lonely penguin or something, right?
Right.
And Scotty Bailey, ladder fought for the title. He was like, "Mate, you're getting buried. You're going home in an ambulance." I was like, "Scotty, mate, I take your threatening language more seriously if your profile picture wasn't the penguin from the Waitrose adverts." And he's like, fair point, mate. And within the same sentence, he goes, have you ever seen The Fault in Our Stars? I'm like, Scotty, what's going on, man?
Yeah, what's
And
that
he
all
goes,
about?
mate, it'll make you cry. I was thinking, what are you trying to do? What
It's
kind of
mind
main
games,
games
mate.
are you trying to play
Playing
here?
mind games, mate.
Yeah,
Like,
so
it's all gamesmanship.
Well, like I say, I mean, I loved fighting. Don't get me wrong, I got terrified every time I got in the ring. I
Yeah.
used to be.
I was going to say, did you always have that moment of fear?
Oh yeah, do you know? I mean, before the fight would go on, I'd walk around, I'd shout, everyone's best mate, we'd have conversations.
Distraction.
But the moment I started walking towards the ring, I'd be thinking, oh my god, what the fuck am I doing in here? And I'd get in the ring and we touch gloves, and then they'd throw the first punch, and it's that fight or flight mentality. The moment you get hit,
Get hit in the face.
you've
Yeah.
got this moment thinking, I really should cover up, or hopefully they'll just fuck off and leave me alone. But then it was like, hang on a minute, I actually know what I'm doing here. I'm all right. I'm going to throw a punch back and see what happens.
Yeah.
And then before you know, ooh, I'm going to fight. I'm quite enjoying this. I'm good at this.
Right.
Yeah. And
that's good.
sometimes I wasn't. I got battered. But
there was a couple of times, but you know.
Yeah. But like I say,
you had a better win percentage in the end.
I
didn't
did.
You?
I was. I think I was one fight over. One fight over my wins to my losses, but. Yeah,
come on, guys! I was bigging you up then, mate.
No, but no. Listen, every fight was awesome, whether I won or lost. It sounds bizarre. My favourite fight, and people say, "What's your favourite?" I won my title twice. My favourite fight is when I fought my mate Harry, and Harry's a great guy. And I lost to Harry the first time I fought him.
Yeah.
But it was war from the moment we got in for the first round. Second round, third round, he caught me cold.
Was Harry the one that you used to just stand toe to toe with, and then just slug the shit out of each other?
You throw your kitchen sink, and he would kept coming, and he hit me on the temple in the third round, and my legs just went, and the ref called it off, and they took my head guard off, took his head guard off, and we were just cracking up. We were laughing in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
And at that point, our coach, because we were lucky, the trick is with white collar, you tend to fight guys from the same gym.
Yeah.
He was like, mate, I want to make that fight again quite happily. And all right, we did it a year and a half down the line, and I beat Harry, so we're now 1-1. We always joke that we're going to be 90 years old in the nursing
like Rocky and Apollo.
No, I'm going to have you.
Yeah,
right then, you know, people trying to separate us.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be at 90. We've said this. So
yeah.
We still joke now when he's had a few beers and I've had a few beers on social media. We're like, oh yeah, mate, come on.
I'll take you in the ring again, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, mate, you can't even make it short ass. I'll get you a ladder. And I'm, as you know, vertically challenged. So for me to call somebody a short ass, it's quite nice.
When we talked about you the other day, I either compared you to Gollum or Yoda.
I'm really worried now as I'm getting older and I'm now moving into coaching. I'm going to end up being Mickey from Rocky.
You are getting to that point. the greyer you get,
yeah,
and the more gravelly you get and more grumpy you get, you are going to turn into Mickey.
Yeah.
But you do need to find a Rocky.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm lucky. Like I say, the great thing. I mean, I love fighting. I've stopped fighting now. Ish.
You say that, but the first thing you told me when I got back is that you're thinking about going to do another fight.
But listen, it's not like when I was fighting, I knew a fight was coming up, and the fight after that, and the fight after that, and the fight after that. I knew what was going to happen. I was in a cycle. This, for me, clearly is literally going to be exactly what it is. It's just going to be one and then done, because I'm way too old. I'm way past it now.
Right.
You know, and I've loved everything I've done. I mean, a mate of mine said, "Oh, why don't you go and fight for another title? Why don't you go turn, amateur?" And I'm like, mate, I'm 42 years old. You know, I mean, the benchmark for amateurs, they stop you letting a professional contract when you're 46. I was like, mate, really?
Yeah, but
do I want to be fighting? I mean, I'm not Bernard Hopkins, for Christ's sake.
I was just about to say, not B-Hop. Like,
exactly,
there's a certain level, and it takes a certain kind of.
I actually did B-Hop's workout once, which was Bikram yoga in the morning, 12-mile run, shadow boxing for 3 hours, light lunch, sparring for 4 hours, Bikram yoga in the evening, another 6-mile run. I was thinking, I did it for a week, and I was like, dying. I was like, mate, the man's a machine.
So you did that every day?
For a week.
That's insane.
For a week, and it was just horrendous.
So, pretty much, all that's left to talk about now, guys, is our quick fire round. I'm going to ask you some questions.
Pressure's on now.
They're nice and easy. We're going to start you off simple. Gaz, what's your favourite colour?
Red.
Any particular shade of red?
Liverpool red.
It runs in the family. Guess what Dad's answer was?
Liverpool red.
In exactly that way.
There we go.
Yep. Liverpool red, excellent. Right. Okay, Gaz, this one's a little bit harder.
Okay.
And feel free
Yeah.
to maybe name more than one, because
Okay.
I can never do this. But what's your favourite film? Yeah, exactly.
So many.
Most people just reel this off, but I totally understand why you can't, because I can't. I was going to say, do you want me to give
It's a
you?
Wonderful Life. Spartacus. Wow, yeah, it's one of these film questions you could say, right, I could come back to you in a week and still be giving you answers.
I was going to say, right, okay, do you want me to give you a genre?
Yeah, let's go, on.
Okay, so your favourite American comedy?
Animal House.
Okay, went a bit old school with it.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. Favourite blockbuster action?
Star Wars. Never.
Would you class that as blockbuster action?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd more sort of put that in sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah. But when you think blockbuster, it automatically says to me.
You think
The
big money,
blockbuster,
yeah.
So blockbuster action. See, I've always had a soft spot for the Expendables, especially part 2. Yeah, I mean they are ridiculous.
Why especially part 2?
Because Van Damme is a superb villain.
Yeah, he is.
He
was
is.
actually.
He really works. I mean, the rest of them are kind of, part 1, part 3, they're kind of plod, but part 2 is quite, compared to the other two, it's like it's like Citizen Kane compared to the other two.
And they're all pretty terrible.
Yeah, but that is Citizen Kane.
But in a very entertaining way.
It's the Citizen Kane of Expendables movies.
Yeah, I guess so. What's his name was a pretty good villain though. Roberts.
Yeah.
Was a good villain.
Yeah.
He wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Have you watched Last Blood yet?
No, not yet. No.
Okay.
I'm tempted to. Yeah.
I think you should. I watched it.
Not bad.
I watched it.
But he's looking out about doing another Rocky. It's like, really?
No, don't do that anymore.
And he will come back and he'll be like me.
Exactly. Like, yeah, you are totally like mirroring the career of Rocky. And that's a film, guys. It's not real life.
Oh, it is.
Okay.
I actually came out through High Hopes, one of my title fights.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
That was my first one. I had no chance of beating that guy at all.
Right.
And then he was actually farming at 5 o'clock in the morning. An hour before we fought, he literally was asleep in his car.
Right.
Yeah. So cheers for that. Yeah.
Did you win?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, so movies. So blockbuster. Yeah.
Yeah. So Expendables, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we've already answered this, but favorite sci-fi fantasy.
See, you would say Star Wars. I do have some spot for the Avengers.
What, like Marvel's Avengers?
Yeah, Marvel's Avengers. I enjoyed them game. Not a lot of people do.
I was going to say any particular one or like the whole series.
See, you want to say Iron Man 60 years now, but I enjoyed them game. It was a nice end. Since then, I've not watched any superhero movies.
I've actually been talking about this today, and I said it's quite a rare thing with a film that it hits you with enough fan service to give you exactly what you want, but shock you enough to keep you interested the entire way through.
Yeah.
Of like, you know what's going to happen, but it doesn't quite happen in the way you think it's going to. So it's interesting the entire way through.
Yeah. And the great thing is with Endgame, I've now got a cosplay because I can just go fat Thor, Joey cosplay.
Well,
I couldn't go with Thor before.
I think every male in existence thinks, well, at least I could get away with fat Thor. Yeah. My favorite line in that whole film is where Robert Downey Jr. walks past him and goes, "Out of the way, Lebowski."
Yeah.
Loved it. Just brilliant.
I want to know who New Master is.
Always
calling me a dickhead again.
Yeah. And Taika Waititi's amazing. Have you seen his most recent project?
Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, Jojo Rabbit.
Looks amazing.
Looks incredible.
Yeah.
He's playing like fantasy Hitler.
Yeah.
Looks incredible. I saw the trailer for it today when I went to watch Midway.
I've seen it a couple of weeks. This looks so much fun.
It looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
As long as you're not too easily offended, because obviously you can get offended. It's about Nazis and it's taking it in a bit of a comedic light.
Okay, go on, next genre.
Let's go thriller. Should because I know like you're a bit like me. You're not massively into this area of the genre.
Yeah. See,
So let's go thriller
I'd
horror.
probably go 7 or Psycho. See, Psycho would be bordering more on horror. I'd go 7.
Yeah, let's go thriller horror.
Yeah, I'd go 7.
7.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Classic, can't go wrong.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. What's in the box?
Yeah.
All that shit. That's the impression that everyone does.
Yeah. Exactly,
Whenever you mention 7,
yeah.
like if it's got an iconic line to it, you
Thriller,
know for a
Usual
fact.
Suspects. I'd probably throw that down.
Amazing. That scene where he's walking away and he does the change. It's iconic. Like you know, you're talking about like iconic moments in some of them. I think we're going to leave it with genres. I want to know just because I don't ask most people this, but who's your favourite director? Do you have one?
What's his body of work, Spielberg? Everything he's done to be a fan favourite, to be his passion projects, such as like Schindler's List. You know, you've got to say that guy has given as much as he can to everything. I mean, even if you go back as Jaws, and I mean, I love obviously studying film. I loved reading the story behind the story of Jaws about that. You know, Dreyfus and Shaw were ready to literally punch each other.
Yeah, they hated each other.
You know, and Spielberg was that close to a nervous breakdown of the filming. You know, Schneider wouldn't come out of his trailer. And you look at that film and what's on screen. Duel. Do you know, I watched Duel before I watched Jaws.
Right.
Because there used to be a program on BBC Two called Movie Drone. And there was so many. Me and Dave watched some really mad, random, awesome films. Trespass with Ice Cube and Bill Paxton, which was an epic one. Really weird film.
Yeah.
People Under the Stairs. Yeah. We watched that as well. Zardos, which is still by far and away
the one that I watched was the one that I will always remember. I love the fact that I found this film because of it, and it was, I don't know if you'll remember it, but it was a Christopher Lambert film about him being trapped in a prison. Yeah. Yeah. Was it Fortress?
There was 2 out at the same time. One was with Ray Liotta and one was with Christopher Lambert.
Yeah.
Because Hollywood's got this habit of doing like.
Yeah, like we might fuck this up, so we'll make another one like Deep Impact Armageddon. Yeah. Like we got that wrong, so we made this as well.
Yeah, one was with Exploding Bomb Collars very much.
Yeah. That was it. It was a Christopher Lambert film, and it was absolutely banging. I'm gonna look it up now. But no, like I have to agree with Spielberg. He sort of redefined like what modern cinema was. And you can't say that about many directors.
And he had a hand in things such as James.
Yeah, all the sort of Lucas stuff as well, you know? Yeah. And had a hand in Back to the Future. Yeah. You know, I mean, like, okay.
I didn't realise the town in Hill Valley is the same as Gremlins and It's a Wonderful Life.
Really?
Yeah, well, It's a Wonderful Life. Basically, what they did was when they remade Hill Valley, they moved some of the scenery around.
Right.
Because it's the same backdrop.
Okay.
Yeah. So It's a Wonderful Life and Gremlins share the same actual, town, but then Spielberg was like, well, hang on, I want to use part of that for. Bob Zemeckis was like, I want to use that for Back to the Future as well.
Yeah. So we digress.
Yeah.
So our quickfire round isn't so quick.
Yeah, we really bad.
No, it's fine.
Films,
we hit Nerdville. It's fun.
Yeah.
So this is going to be difficult as well. Favorite TV show, or if you want to say, what are you binging at the moment?
Favorite TV show.
Right.
I'd go 24 original. Jack Bauer.
Yeah.
I know Andy Moore would have a laugh at that. And Dave would as well. And Life on Mars.
Yeah, you loved that show, didn't you?
It was awesome.
Yeah, I remember you being like totally obsessed with how good that show was.
It was epic. It's like, everything good about, the 1970s cop genre, and being a good science fiction show as well at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what am I watching at the moment? Watching Band of Brothers again. Okay. Yeah, I was just flicking through it and I was like, wow, I've not seen that in ages.
Do you know what? I think we all have a bit of a Band of Brothers revisit at some point.
And it's brilliant.
Yeah, like I'm not in a revisiting period at the moment, but like it's quite. I think I may have watched it about 8 times now.
Yeah.
Not the Pacific so much.
I like the Pacific. It was really good.
It was good.
They're doing a new one.
Are they?
Yeah.
Same sort of production team?
Yeah, same production team.
So it's still Spielberg and
Dale
Hans.
High as consultant.
Have you got a favourite book, Gaz?
Yeah, Vegas Tales by Ricky Hatton. Never laughed so much by reading a book in my entire life.
Okay. Is that biographical or?
Yeah, it's basically a list of everything that happened to Ricky Hatton in Vegas. Good, bad, hilarious, not so funny otherwise.
Did he spend that much time in Vegas?
Oh, hell yeah. Even also not him as a fighter.
Oh, right,
sometimes
okay.
him just going to watch stuff.
Oh, right.
There's a great story about Ricky's gran. Sat down in a restaurant after he fought Mayweather.
Right.
They were having this big meal, and Ricky's gran sparks up a fag,
right.
And she's smoking away. And Mike Tyson leans over and goes, "I'm sorry, I don't think you can smoke in here." And he goes, "Son, I'm sat between Mike Tyson and Ricky Hatton. Who do you think's going to stop me?"
Brilliant. Amazing.
And I was like, that's epic. Yeah, so I mean, I love that book. It makes me chuckle every time.
Okay. If you could give a young person advice based on your life so far, what advice would you give them?
Don't worry about today. Things have a way of working themselves out.
Okay.
If it's terrible today, it won't be so terrible tomorrow.
Okay. So just plow on through, sort of thing.
Yeah,
just
everything
keep going.
that happened is yesterday.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That's good advice.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
And then one last thing.
Go on.
Just because we've both been barman. Favourite cocktail to make?
Old fashioned. If you ever want to upset a bartender with 5 minutes left on his shift, walk into a bar and ask him for 9 old fashions, and see that look of hatred just spread across his face. There's a bartender out there doing exactly what I mean right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. And okay, so favourite cocktail to drink?
Old fashioned.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I do love a good old fashioned. There we go.
A good old fashioned.
Well, I'm quite keen on a basil and pineapple martini.
Okay.
Yeah, but you look cooler drinking an old fashioned than you drinking a basil and pineapple martini.
Yeah.
Unless you're sat between Ricky Hatton and Mike Tyson.
And then you can just do whatever you want.
Exactly, yeah. I wouldn't tell you no. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. I don't know. Yeah. But no, thanks for that, guys.
No,
absolute pleasure. And cheers for the interview.
Cool.
So there we have it. That's my interview with my big brother Gaz.
Woo! Thank you, Gareth.
Thank you very much, bruv. That was an absolute pleasure, and it was really good to sit down and chat. I sort of asked my family questions that I haven't really asked before.
Yeah, it's not like a normal conversation to have, is
No,
it?
so it was quite in depth, and it was really interesting to see a different side of my family.
Aww.
Which was amazing. And speaking of different sides, you have a story.
I do.
That you'd like to say about my brother Gaz, about one of the early times.
Yeah, so with John and I travelling and visiting home just for like a week at a time or 2 weeks at a time, or John would be visiting, I would be in Scotland and switching places, and also Gareth, he works in Chester. Well, he lived and worked in Chester at the time, so he wouldn't always be in Wales when we were in Wales. And
no, he was living in Chester at the time.
Is that not what I said? Did I say the wrong place?
I don't know. I thought you were talking about living in Wales then.
I thought I said Chester.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was very rare that I seen him, and it was very rare that we would have a lot of interactions.
True.
Because Gaz is a very introverted little soul.
Yeah.
And I am quite shy in front of new people.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you are.
I'm a kind of warm up to it.
Yeah, you show your personality once you get to know people.
Once I get comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I was down. John and I were down visiting your dad.
Yep.
And Gaz came over.
Yeah, Gaz was visiting as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the
to
same
visit.
day. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And John and his dad had booked a day of golfing.
Which we always tried to do.
Yes.
And we always try and do whenever I go and visit.
Yeah. And I was like, don't worry about me. Just drop me up at the town centre. I want to get my hair done, so I'll find a wee hairdressers. That will take up, some time. And I think it was near Christmas.
Yeah,
because I had some
right.
Christmas shopping to do.
Yeah.
And there's a Catholic. No.
Yeah.
Was
There
that
is?
the place I was?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
yeah.
a Catholics in there, and I bought some jammies. Side stories. Anyway, so Gaz was like, "Oh, I'll come with you."
Yeah, because he
We'll
was working
go-
that afternoon.
Yeah, in Chester. So we'll go for some breakfast, and then I'll need to go off to work, and you can continue to do your thing. I was like, great. So we got dropped off. We head into this little, it's like a cafe place. I think we got like a roll and sausage each or something, or a roll and bacon, and a coffee. So we sat down at a little table, and I was like, oh, thanks for coming with me. After this, you can kind of direct me to like the high street, where to go. He took a bite of his roll, and he looked at his watch, and he was like, I gotta get going. I've got to go to work. This was like 11 o'clock in the morning, and he'd already told me that his shift didn't start till 2. And then he just took his coffee and walked out and left me in this cafe where I had no idea where I was.
I can see it now. He just felt so awkward
Yeah.
because he wouldn't have known
He didn't
what
really
to
know me,
say
no.
or do. So he would have thought, oh, this is a great idea. And then the reality of being in that situation was like, I've got to go. I'm really busy today. Bye.
Yeah. And he left me. So that's always a funny story that I always like now. Like I'll pick on him and he'll laugh, and it's a funny story between us.
Like you get on really well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there was one night when we were down visiting. This was obviously years later, and you were playing.
Yeah.
Or we were doing a pub quiz.
No, I was playing music. It was
playing.
one of the nights that I played at the Valentine.
And Gaz had been off the drink for a long time with his boxing.
Yeah.
With his training and stuff. So it's like the first time he'd had a couple of pints. So obviously they hit him hard. And he was chatty Biggie!
Oh, yeah.
He was. And
well, in the interview, like, obviously, you give Gaz a couple of drinks and he just chats away and it's just the best.
So he was telling me all about you and how proud he was of you singing and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was nice. So that was my first kind of one-to-one with Gaz.
That great social interaction of, gotta go now, bye. Poor Gaz.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for listening, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure. We will return next week
with another interview.
With even more interviews, and I think without too much bias, next week's interview will most certainly be my favourite.
No.
Because it's so candid.
Yeah.
And I asked questions that I didn't think I was going to ask.
Oh, they just came out. They just
and got answers that I didn't think I'd get. And it was just really interesting to sit down with my dad and chat that way. And he was really enthusiastic about doing it. And it was just really lovely. So next week we've got a very special interview with the Al.
The Al.
My daddy.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about life, growing up, how he met my mother, and lots of things.
Don't give it all away, John.
So, I mean, I haven't told any stories. So yeah, lots and lots of a great interview with my dad there. So we'll be coming to you with that next week. But until then, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you soon.
Chat to you next week.
Bye!